Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the I.S.U.P.K like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the I.S.U.P.K. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pot. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, said I'm a bop. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the I.S.U.P.K, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I did. A man reach out to God before he died? Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for left. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile ass. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky, and that nigga left me for dead. Endure to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Hey, hey. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on time when we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown on many streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my I can gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Laya Shala. I Majum, Wapan Yahakodam, me stand and face the east. All right, we're going to send up the Lord's Prayer, all the prayers, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. All right, repeat after me. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratadaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalah Lanawa, Kawawaf Nawa, kasalaknawa, kawawafyanawa, wala'a, tabaya'anawa, banasaya one, abal, hawashainawa, mayan, ra, kaya, laka, ha malakwa, waha'ala, wahathapara, la'aiwalamyam, aman. In the English, what we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the power, or hakak, the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Baba Kushah, Nathanaw, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazaraya, Hakak, Lahapayam, Hamathian, Hakak, Arakawa, Ha Tama'ala, Lagarashan, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, the water among. What we said in the English was Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you, so be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasha Allah, Waha Bayah Waha Bayah Saparia, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, the water among. In the English, what we said was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. The book of Psalms, chapter 121, in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All-Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Wa Aratza, All Yathan, Lamawat, Ragolka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wa La'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wa Yarak, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar Taza Aska, Waba wa Aka, Ma'aita, wa Aid Iwalam. In the English, what we said was, I will lift up mine eyes and hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from not for thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yashar Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. The book of Psalms, chapter 83, in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all damayalaka, all takarash, wa all tashakwat, all kayahana, our yabyaka, Yahama Yawan, wa masanayaka, Sha'awa, Ra'ash, al Imaka, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawad, wa yata ya'ai to the wa, al to the Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakiram, Ma Galya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashar Allah, Iwad, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, Lab, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barya, Yakaratwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa Shamai Alayam, Mawa Abba, Wa Hagarium, Gabal, Wa I'm a one, Wa Amalak, Palashah, I'm Yashabi, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Na Lawa, I Mum, Hayawa, Zarawat, Labanya Lawat, Salat, I Shalaham, Kamadian, Kastaya Sara'at, Kayabian, Banakal, Payashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba Ayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Sayatamwa, Nadayamawa, Wa Ka Ira, Wa Ka the Abba, Wa Ka the Bak, Wa Ka the Zalmana, Call Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Na Yarasha, La Nawa, Ah, Na Awa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Sayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanyaraka, Kaash, Saba Ira, Ya Ira, Wa Kalahaba, Da Lahat, Haryam, Kam, Saradabma, Basa Iraka, Wa Basa Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Punyaham, Kuala One, Waha Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wa Yabahawa, Aya Aya, Wa Ya Kaparwa, Wa Ya Abadwa, Wa Ya the Aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal Ha'arakaza. In the English, what we said was, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up it. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They have cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like the wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. In the Hebrew, what we said was, Allahayim, all the Mayalaka, all the Karash, wa all the Shakwat, all Kaya, YAHANNA, our YAHANNA. I'm sorry. I apologize, my bad. Moving on to blessings in the Hebrew. Why Yahweh Shah? Why my Allah YAHANNA? Ha Alawapyum. Ha Saranyum. Ha Kwatlayanyum. Ha Kayayalyum. Waha Akwapyum. Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shah. The water Amun. In the English, what we said was, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General YAHANNA, the general, the captains, the officers, the troops, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishments and destruction to the heathen that speak against thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel, which refuse to give to the school. Force their riches into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek's synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all thy people that seek, swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words. Throughout the planet Earth, let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shah, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us. We speak thy word. As we speak thy word, cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole earth. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Right? Yajimata means hands down. Star, which means to turn. Right? Yeshabium means to be seated. Everyone seated. the water for y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all watching. If you like this content, make sure you leave a thumbs up in this video to let us know. And listen, man, while you at it, if you like seeing content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We answering all your questions, like why did God allow blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to go into slavery? Or why are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the #1 people mistreated because of their race? Or even how could God let innocent people die? Well, we answer all that. Questions that your Christian pastor would never answer. And we get it straight out the Bible, man. It's been right in front of our face for thousands of years. We're going to give you the truth, man, because the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. So look, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified every time we drop a video. Check this out, too. Hit this QR code right here. It's going to get you everything you need to contact the I.S.U.P.K near you. All right? Shalom. All right, clap it up. We're going to go today into the book of Deuteronomy. And we're continuing from last week. So we'll be starting at chapter 15, verse 23. If you have your Tanakhs with you, chapter 15 and 23. Okay. And we're going to read in the Hebrew language first, and then we're going to read in the Syrian. I'm sorry. We're going to read in the Assyrian first, and then we're going to read in the English. Also, the Blue Letter Bible works as well. If you have an app on your phone, you don't have a Tanakh with you physically, you can also pull up the Blue Letter Bible. Understand? It's always good to have a hard copy. Hard copies don't change. You understand? However, apps can change. I don't know what they might be doing in the next 10 to 20 years with these apps and this AI stuff, but a hard copy will never fail you. As long as you keep it safe and you keep it, readable. As long as it's readable. All right. So we are going to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 23, and I'm going to start in the Hebrew language. Rakwa'ath damwa la'a ta'akal al ha'aratza da shapak noah kamayum. All right. Chapter 16, verse 1. Shamawar ath kadash ha abayab wa aishayath patak la Yahweh Allahayaka kaya ba kadash ha abayab ha wataza ya'aka Yahweh Allahayaka ma matazarium la Yahweh. It's like la yala. Verse 2. Wa za bakath patak la Yahweh Allahayaka taza'an wa bakwar ba makwam ashar ya bakar Yahweh la shakan shamwa sham. Verse 3. La ta akal al yawa kamataza shaba'aith yamiyam ta akal I al yawa slagi ma tazawat slagi ma tazawat lakam Anya kaya ba kapazawan ya taza'ath ma arataza ma tazarium lama ain tazakar ath yawam taza'athka ma arataza matazarium call yamayam yamaya kaya yaka. Verse 4. Wala'a yara'a laka ashar bakal Gabalak or Gabalka. So like Shaba'ath Yamayam Wa La'a Ya Layan Mana Ma Ha Bashar Ashar Ta Zabak Ba Irab Ba Yawam Hara Ashwan La Bakwar. Verse 5 La Ab Ta Wakal La Zabak Ath Ha Patah. So like Ha Pasak Ba Akad Sha'iraya Sha'irayaka Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka Nathan Laka. Verse 6 Kaya Am Al Ha Makwawam Ashar Yabakar Yahweh Alahayaka La Shakan Shamwa Sham Da Zabak Ath Ha Pasak Ba Irab Kaba Wa'a Ha Shamash Ma Wa'aid Taza Athka Ma Matazarium. All right. Now in the English, Deuteronomy 15 and 23 in the English. Only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof. Out shall pour out. It's like thou shalt pour it upon the ground as water. So last week we went over the we ended off with the laws regarding Hebrew slaves. Okay. So now the word slave, of course, is interchangeable with indentured servant. So when we think of slavery in today's terms, we think of being lynched and hung and whipped with, you know what I'm saying, tied to a tree and whipped, you understand, until your back was no longer flesh, but more so, you know, just meat. You understand? Well, that's what we think of today when we think of slavery. However, slavery is what you do for a paycheck. Today, if you have a job, you have a 9 to 5, and you get paid from that 9 to 5 to do work, you are a slave. That's the reality. If you have to work at a certain time and work until a certain time to receive a wage, you are a slave. You are an indentured servant. I understand. And back then, we had indentured servants, and there were rules and regulations on how to deal with your indentured servants who were Israelites. All right. So that was one of the last things that they wanted you to know about dealing with indentured servants. Okay, is that you should not thou should not it's like it was talking about the sacrifices. Let me see. It's my brother. You shall furnish him liberally, and thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in English. Shall be as it should be if he say unto thee, then thou shalt take it all, thrust it through his ear into the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. And it shall not seem hard unto thee when thou sendest him away. All the firstly males that come of the herd. Okay, so that part goes into dealing with your herd, your sheep, your cattle. All right, and when you make a sacrifice, so um you don't eat the sacrifice within the gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike as the roebuck and as the hart. Only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof. Thou shalt pour it upon the ground as water, because we don't eat blood. Right? That's a Esau thing to do. That's a YT man thing to do. All right, so we don't eat the blood of any animal. The Bible says the blood of an animal is the life of an animal. You understand? So we don't eat the blood. We pour it out. We drain it, right? Whenever you unalive an animal, you drain the blood out, and then you eat it. You cook it, of course, then you eat it. You know what I'm saying? This is why black people like their steak extra well done. It's just natural. You don't want to even see red in the meat. You know what I mean? Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, you got to do a little studying about steak and how it's made, but I digress. All right, so let's go to chapter 16, verse 1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. All right, so first of all, the Passover is in the first month called Abib in the Hebrew. I think it's called, and let me see if I can pull up, what the heck? Come on. Let me see if I can pull up the actual word for Abib. Okay. Ha-abayab, right? So Ha-abayab is the first month. That's the title of the first month. That's what God called it. Now I know today we have January, right? We got February, March, April, all these names that are really named after Greek gods, okay? And they're also named after Greek words, like October, okay, or Nav. I think it's German. I think that's German. I think October, Oct and Nav is actually German. I'll have to go back and double check. I think that's German. But you got October and November and December. You understand? Or it might be Latin. Anyway, make no difference. The God of the Bible named the first month Abayab. Okay? That's the first month. And in that first month, we celebrate the Passover. The Lord commanded the children of Israel to keep the Passover. He didn't command that we go and look for Easter eggs and Easter bunnies and chocolate. He didn't tell us to do that. He told us to keep the Passover. All right? In the first month, which is around April. How do we know when the first month of Abib is? We know by the pattern of the moon. The phases of the moon tells us what month we're in. The word moon comes from the word month. Okay? The word Monday comes from the root word moon, which translates from luna, which is why in Spanish Monday is called lunes. All right, now if you want a language lesson, tune in every Friday night. You understand? Brother Officer 50 Rawam teaches an excellent Hebrew class every Friday night. You should be tuning into that class before Saturday. There's a reason why it's before Saturday, because we're going to read these words in Hebrew. So you should be tuning into that class every Friday night. Big shout out to Officer Rawam. All right. Now, with that being said, Abib is the first month, which is the month we celebrate Passover in. It says, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. Though thou shalt excuse me, thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover unto the Lord thy God of the flock and the herd, in the place which the Lord shall choose to place his name there. What does it mean to sacrifice the Passover? That's when we take a lamb or sheep. Well, excuse me. That's when we take a lamb and we sacrifice the lamb. You understand? And then we go and eat lamb during the Passover. We eat lamb and unleavened bread. All right? You can learn all about it in any of our classes. Just ask about it, because it is one of the most sought for days of the year. All of the I.S.U.P.K. We start saving up to go to the Passover the day after Passover. I'm not kidding you. As soon as the Passover is over, we start saving up our ducats and planning to go to the next Passover, because it's the most sought after day of the year. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait until Passover rolls around, because sometimes we don't see each other throughout the entire year. And that's the one day where we all know that we're going to see each other again. You understand? Lord willing, if we all make it another year. That's the that's what the sacrificing the Passover is. Verse 3 says, thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread. Like I just pointed out, therewith even the bread of affliction. Why is it saying calling it the bread of affliction? Because it wasn't pleasant to eat unleavened bread. We didn't choose to eat unleavened bread. It wasn't our choice to eat unleavened bread. But because we had to hurry and leave up out of Egypt, as the Most High was laying waste to Egypt, we had no time to add leavening, or at least we had no time to wait for that leavening to rise. You understand? If you know anything about bread making, you have to let your yeast activate before you can add it to your bread, your flour. You understand? And even after you add it to your flour, you have to let the flour rise before you can start to knead it and form it into bread. So it's a whole process of making bread. Well, we didn't have time to stop and wait for that process. You understand? And bake the food. We had to what we could cooked and that's how Britain had the luxury of eating fluffy, delicious bread. We ate the bread of our affliction. It wasn't enjoyable, but we did it. And now we look forward to doing it again because of what the Lord did for us in Egypt. All right, and there should be no leavened bread. 17. Hold on, I'll skip some. All right, even the bread of affliction, for thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste. This is exactly what I said. I should just let the scripture speak for itself. That thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coasts 7 days. So for 7 days we eat unleavened bread. All right. We started making our pilgrimage to the states. All right. For instance, once we had the Passover in Florida, which was excellent and beautiful. And we also had it in Texas a couple of times, which was excellent and beautiful. And then it was also in South Carolina, which was excellent and beautiful. And you know what? It's just my words, but I think we might see one in Chicago. We might see one in Chicago because I think I think Commander YAHANNA loves the Chicago and Midwest Fire weekends. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Captain Marvel Quad in Chicago. This weekend, I fortunately did not make it out there. I wish I could have. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a hit every time, and I wish I could have just seen my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I prayed for the opportunity to go up there and see my brothers, but you know what I mean? I'll catch them next time. But I think they might be a shoe-in for the Passover, to hold down the Passover. That's just me. Maybe they don't want, I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe they don't want that burden, but, and I say that because, you know, it's hard work to put together the Passover. But I could see that happening. So hey, look, man, we might see a Passover in Chicago sometime soon. Nevertheless, as I was saying, you know what I mean, we kept that for 7 days. You understand? A feast for 7 days. Well, we just eat unleavened bread. We don't eat leavened bread. We don't go to the burger store and get a burger because it uses leavened bread. We don't make a turkey sandwich unless we put it on unleavened bread. Nope. We don't eat pizza. We don't even eat some cereal because it has leavening in it, as yeast or some type of leavening agent. You understand? And we do that for 7 days. Why? Because of our faith in the Most High. Because we remembered what the Lord did to our enemies. What the Lord did to the people that hate us. We remember what the Lord will do to our enemies if we obey him. All right, that's what we remember. Okay. Bubby. Neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrifice the first day at even remain all night until the morning. All right, so we had to also eat up all the lamb. You know what I'm saying? We made a sacrifice. We had to it couldn't stick around until the morning. It had to be whatever was cooked that day, gotta get ate that day. You know what I'm saying? There's no leftovers. All right. Um, verse 5. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, but at the place which the Lord thy God shall choose to place his name in. There thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt. So what is this saying? This is really an in-depth look at why the I.S.U.P.K does the Passover the way that we do it. All right, we're not going to do it. We're not going to stay home and keep the Passover in our own house. You understand? We're not going to just say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have the Passover here." I'm gonna just, this is a nice. I like this place. I like this vacation area. This is a nice place to have a vacation. We don't just go off of our own wants and needs and desires and decide that's what we're gonna do at Passover. It's what the Lord put his name on. You know what I'm saying? It's decided by what the Lord blesses. You understand? So if Commander YAHANNA says, listen, man, we got options. We got Chicago, we got Florida, we got California. We gotta have the Passover somewhere. Where is the Passover gonna be? And you know what? Wherever the Lord sees fit to put the Passover is where we're going to have the Passover. You understand? It's going to be stamped and approved by the Most High, and we're going to have the Passover there. And now every single Israelite on the face of the earth is to make their pilgrimage to that place, and that place only. You understand? It's not where you want to go. It's where the Lord said to go. This is where you're going to have the Passover. This is where you're going to make that sacrifice. This is where you're going to sacrifice the Passover. You know? All right. And what else it says? There thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even. So we also, you know what I'm saying, we start the Passover when the sun goes down. That's what even means. That's what it means by at even. At even when the sun goes down. Okay? Which is why they call it evening now. It says at the going down of the sun, like I just said, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt, meaning we're going to do this every year around about the time that we were freed from Egypt. So we don't do it just any time out the year. We don't do it when we feel like this the right time to do it. No, we do it around the same time every year, which is why we go off the moon, because the moon tells us the time. Just like the sun used to be used to tell you the times, the moon is also used to tell you the times. It's used to tell you the months that you're in. Based off the phases of the moon goes through its entire phase cycle within a month. And guess what? Sometimes it takes a little longer for the moon to go through those phases. Sometimes it's a little shorter to go through those moon phases. But we'll know by the amount of phase cycles that it goes through what time of the year it is. It's simple science. People think that science and the Bible don't go together when God is science. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is absolutely science. So we go off the phases of the moon, and that's how we know what month we're in. That's how we know what high holy days to celebrate and what high holy days to keep and how long to keep them. It's all based off of this book and the signs of heaven. Okay. Verse 8. Nope. Sorry. Verse 6. All right, verse 7. And thou shalt roast and eat it in the place which the Lord thy... Oh, no, slack it. We're going back to the Hebrew. All right, so let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 7 in the Hebrew. Wa ba shalath, wa akal akalath, ba ma kwam, ashar, yabakar, Yahweh, alahayaka, ba wa punyak, wa punyath, ba bakwar, wa halakath, la a halayak, or halyaka, la ahalyaka, verse 8, shashath, yamayam, ta'akal, matazawath, wa bayawam, ha shaba ya'aya, aitazarath. I lost my place. All right. I Tazarath, La Yahweh, Alahayaka, La A, Da Aisha, Ma La Aka. Verse 9. Shaba'ai, Shaba'aith, Da Sapar, Laka, Ma Hakal, Haramash, Ba Kwama, Da Thakal, La Sapar, Shaba'aiha. Shaba'ai Wath, verse 10. Wa Aishayath, Kaga, Shaba'ai Wath, La Yahweh, Al Lahayaka, Masath, Nadabath, Yadka, Ashar, Thathan, Ka Ashar, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Alahayaka, verse 11. Wa Shamakath, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Atha, wa ba wa banaka, wa bathak, wa aibadak, or wa ibadka, salagya, wa amathka, wa ha lo ha ha loya, ha wa ha loya, ashar, ba sha'ayrayaka, wa hagar, wa ha yathwam, Waha alam Waha al manaha ashar ba korabka ba ma kwam ashar yabakar Yahweh alahayaka la shakan shamwa sham. Verse 12. Wa zakarath kaya ibad hayath ba matazarium wa shamarath, wa shamarath, wa aishayath ath ha kakwayam ha Allah. All right. Verse 13. Kaga ha sakath da aisha ba Isupk, or ba asap magaranka wa yaquab wa yaquabka. And that's the end of that's the end of 13. So we're going back to the English. All right, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 7. And thou shalt roast and eat it in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto thy tents. Turn in the morning, going to the 10th, verse 8. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Lord thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. All right. So the Lord giving us days off. You know what I mean? Celebrations for 7 days, feasts for 7 days, sometimes more, sometimes 10 days, sometimes 50. You know what I'm saying? The Lord giving us these days that we are to celebrate, we are to feast, and we are to do no servile work. You understand? Now, unfortunately, we're in the kingdom of Satan, of the devil. You understand? The YT man. That's who rules the world today. And so there is no 7-day vacations, except on his, maybe he might choose a holiday where he gives you a week off. You understand? But the Lord does this, and it's righteous. You know what I'm saying? He's not giving you a day off because, you know what I'm saying, you were unalive. Now, listen, I'll tell you one thing. We take them 7 days, man, to celebrate the unaliving of the Egyptians. The Lord took them out to save us. You know what I'm saying? We were in captivity under them. We were in captivity under people who did like today. And so the Lord had to get rid of them. The Lord had to do away with that nation of people. And we celebrate it. You understand? Now, you might turn around and you're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, where the so-called Native Indians or indigenous people, the Gadites and Reubenites, were unalived by the millions for nothing. They didn't do anything to those people. They didn't put them into slavery. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take away their identity and abort their babies. But these people came over to America and slaughtered the Native Americans. And now they celebrate it. And that's the people we live under. That's the people that we look up to. We want to be like them, and we want to do all that they do and celebrate all their holidays. And they mean nothing. The Lord said to keep the Passover 7 days and do not eat any leavened bread. All right. And on the 6 days of holy convocation, you are not to do any servile work on that day. All right, verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto them. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn. All right. So again, this is we are being told to keep the time. So now we know when the first month comes around, we know when to celebrate the Passover and when to keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And now you count 7 weeks from that. You understand? And thou shalt keep the Feast of Weeks unto the Lord thy God with a tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy God, according as the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. So this is the feast. This is what's called the Feast of First Fruits, or the Feast of Weeks. Okay, you count 7 weeks after the 7th day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and then you celebrate the Feast of First Fruits. It's when you give an offering to the Most High for everything He's blessed you with. Okay, now we don't learn this in the Christian church. Let me just keep it 100 with you. We don't learn about this at all. Why do we not learn about this? That has to be the number one asked question and throughout the entire earth. If we can open up this book and read this and know that the Lord wanted us to do this forever throughout all our entire generation, why does it not get talked about? Why does it not get brought up? Why does it not get questioned? Why do we not have an explanation for why we don't do it? That's a serious question you got to ask, because this has been in the Bible my whole life, and I didn't know about it until I came into the I.S.U.P.K. All right, so let's keep reading. Verse 11, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and the manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are widow that are among you, in the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to place his name. Everybody celebrate. Everybody in your house must keep these feast days. You must do it. If you're in my house, you're going to keep these feast days, or you can get the hell out. You can get on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You can go be homeless for all I care. If you're not going to keep the Passover, if you're not going to keep the Feast of First Fruits, then you're not going to be here. You'll be put out. You understand? That goes for your maid servants, your man servants, everybody. Your children, your wife, everybody is to keep these days. All right. Now, verse 12, and thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and do these statutes. Verse 13, thou shalt observe the feast of tabernacles 7 days, after that thou hast gathered in the corn and the wine. All right. So now we're going to go back to the Hebrew. Deuteronomy 16, verse 14, in the Hebrew. All right. Verse 14. Wa shamak wa shamkath ba chagaka atha wa bunka wa bathka. Oh, okay. Wa bunka wa batka. Real quick. All right, I can already tell what that means. Wa bunka is and your sons. Wa batka is and your daughters. All right. How do I know that? Because I understand root words. I learned it in the Friday night classes. Bun is son. All right. Bath is daughter. I know that the prefix wa means and I know that the suffix, as we know it, ka is your. So it's saying and your son and your daughter. All right. Wa ibadka, and wa ibadka is and your work, your servants. You understand? Wa amatka, wa halal ya, wa hagar, wa hayathwam, wa ha alam, wa ha ala manha ashar ba sha'iraka. You coming up? Or you need time or something? What you got going on? All right. The garment back there. All right, just whenever you ready, just present yourself. All right, I'm gonna ask you to present yourself. Verse 15. Shabbat Yamayum Thakaga La Yahweh Alahayaka Ba Makwam Ashar Yabakar Yahweh Kaya Yabarakka Yahweh Alahayaka Bakal Tabawa Athka Wa Bakal Ma Aisha Yadyaka Waha Yayath Aka or Aka Amak, verse 16. Wash wash. No, not wash wash. Shalawash. Pa Aimyam Ba Shana Yara'a called the Zakawar Zakawarak Ath Panya Yahweh Alahayaka Ba Makwam Ashar Yabakar Bakag ha Matazawath Wabakag ha Shaba'ai Wath Waba Kagab ha Wala'a Yara'a Ath Panya Yahweh Raya Kwam White Ra Yaquam. Verse 17. Ayash Kamathnath Yadwa Ka Barakath Yahweh Alahayaka Ashar Nathan Laka. Verse 18. Shapatyam Wa Shataryam Thun Laka Bakal Sha'irayaka Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka Nathan Laka La Shabbatyaka Wa Shapat Yitwa Ath Ha'aim Ma Shapat Tazadak. Verse 19. La Ta Sa or Ta Taha Ma Shapat La'am the Kayar Panyam Wa La'a Da Hoka Shakad Kaya Ha Shakad Ya Iwar Ayanya Ha Kamyam Waya Salap the Barya Taza Dayak Ma. Verse 20. Tazadak Da Radap Lama'ain Da Kaya Waya Rashath Ath Ha Aratiza Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka Nathan Laka. Alright. Alright, stand and present yourself.
Priest and Officer 50 Rawam Yala Bun Yahweh Bun Yasharala.
Priest
Shalom Yah Bashim Yashabrakata.
Priest of Slacky. Priest. Now you didn't have to say the Barakatah. Slacky. Priest of 50. Rawam Ya'ala Bun Yahweh Bun Yasharala. Alright. Now you say now you do the Barak.
Shalom Yah Bashim Yashabrakata.
Yahweh Bashim Yashabrakata. Slacky. Got your cup? Got your cup? No, that.
La Yashala.
La
Means
Yashala.
to Israel.
Shop. Actually, this shop is actually correct because it's just you. Alright. Alright, so we're at the book of Deuteronomy. You can read it under here if you want to. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 14. That's where we started.
You have the English pulled up on the email, Gmail.
English?
Come.
Mm-mm.
English paleo.
No, the paleo? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
what you're saying. You want to pull it up?
I got you.
Listening to all the bumps now, nigga.
Hmm?
Nigga listen to all the bumps now, nigga. You nigga better be more cautious.
Man,
Who's
come
that?
on, man. Right. Where you at?
Yeah, verse 14. Reading
Chapter 17, 14?
16, 14.
16, 14? You need it in the English or
Yeah.
the... All right.
English.
It's a book of chapter... it's like this is a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 14. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast,
thy and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Verse 15. 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord shall choose.
Right. So keep in mind, once again, the Lord is going to choose it. You know what I'm saying? What place does the Lord choose every year for these high holy days, right? The Lord chooses this little sanctuary we in right now. You know what I mean? So if you're in a zone where you have a school, if you're fortunate enough to have an Israelite school of universal practical knowledge in your area, you should get there to keep these feast days. You should get there. The Lord chose that place for you. As for the Passover, the Lord chooses one place in the entire earth that every Israelite is supposed to keep the Passover. And that's where you should go. That's where you should make your pilgrimage. But throughout the year, this is the place where we keep our feast days. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hand, therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
Right.
Verse 16.
You should surely rejoice. You shouldn't, oh well, the white people, they give me a day off, so that's why I celebrate the 4th of July. Oh, they give me a day off, so that's why I celebrate Thanksgiving. Okay, well, if you hate it so much, you know what I'm saying? They talk about it like they hate it.
Right.
Like, oh, I only celebrate it because they give me a day off. Okay. Well, if you hate it so goddamn much, why don't you choose rather to celebrate what the Lord said to celebrate and rejoice in it?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Rejoice means to be happy. That's where the word joy comes from. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God.
All your males. 3 times. 3 times a year is when all your men have to present themselves before the Most High. 3 times. Go ahead.
Come. Salakia. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose. In the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles.
And in the feast of tabernacles. These are 3 times that you must present yourself before the Lord.
If I could. The feast of weeks, that's the Sabbath.
No.
So that's not the Sabbath?
Feast of weeks is the feast of first fruits. You count 7 weeks from the end of feast of unleavened bread, and that's when you celebrate the feast of first fruits.
Oh, no sweat. Come.
They also call it the Pentecostal, or I think.
Right.
Yeah, Pentecost.
And in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty.
What did it say?
They shall not appear before the Lord empty.
Yeah, you better bring something for the priest of the Lord. Because, of course, Most High can't receive it himself.
That's right.
So you bring it to the priest of the Lord. You know what I mean? Don't show up empty-handed. You're going to appear before the Lord, and you're not, like, this is what's so heavy. You ookie spooky superstitious niggas, you think that you have to actually be seen by the Lord. Like you think you gotta go and see God. And how you gonna see God? You ain't seen God your whole life. And you think you gonna go and see him like you got an appointment with the nigga? You ain't got no appointment with the Most High. You have an appointment with his appointees. He appointed Commander Junior YAHANNA to represent him, just like he appointed Moses to represent him.
That's right.
Just like he appointed YAHWH to represent him. The Most High always chooses somebody to represent him on the earth.
That's correct.
Because he's not present on the earth. It's his footstool. He kicks his feet up on the earth. He don't visit the earth. Nigga, y'all do my light work is what he tells you. I mean, that's my light work. You make sure things is going on right down there. That's just like any boss. If you work for a company, you probably might not see the head of the company, the CEO. You know what I'm saying? You might never see the CEO in your life, but he's got managers.
That's right.
He got supervisors. You see them, and you report to them. And they report to who they report to, and then they report to who they report to, and it all comes back to the CEO. You know what I mean? That's how you deal with the Most High. So when it says that you're going to present yourself before the Lord, you're not actually going to see God. You know what I mean? You're never going to do that. But you are going to see the men of God who represent him, who have been appointed to represent him. And to them, you're going to bring something in your hands. You will not show up empty-handed. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 17. Every man shall give as he is able.
As he's able. As he's able. Not telling you to go and buy a Rolex watch or some alligator 9-layer shoes or a private jet. You know what I'm saying? We're not passing the plate around 15 times. Go ahead.
Damn sure ain't telling you to break the law to present something before the Lord.
He ain't telling you to go out there breaking the laws to present something for God, man.
If you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Mm-hmm. That's why it says, as you're able. If you work a 9 to 5 and you get paid $10 an hour, take something out of that $10 an hour and bring something. You understand? It could be, you know what I'm saying? Shop on Temu.
It's like you bring your tenth,
Huh?
you bring your tenth of your penny of the week,
Right.
or every 2 weeks, whatever you get paid. You understand?
Right.
You get 10% of that and you present it before the Lord because you're able.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got a 9 to 5. You feel what I'm saying? But you got brothers. So like if I could, you got brothers who are homeless. You got brothers who, you know what I'm saying? They probably not be able to bring anything.
Exactly.
So therefore, they bring themselves. You know what I'm saying? But if they do got something,
you know what they do?
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off. You know what they do when they can't afford to bring anything? They offer their service. You got men.
That's what I mean by bringing themselves. And then when they do that, they humble themselves and you know what I'm saying? If this need to be done or that need to be done, they're willing bodies. You know what I'm saying? Who operate in the service of the Lord and they get that job done. You understand? That's what you're able to do. You understand?
That's right. That's right. You know what I mean? That you show up and you offer yourself as a sacrifice, man. You offer yourself as an offering. Like, hey, man, it's so many brothers. I'm so inspired by the men and the sisters that show up and just want to work when they get to, like, you know, when they show up at the Passover or the Feast of Unleavened Bread or the Feast of First Fruits. You know what I'm saying? Or the Feast of Dedications. You know what I'm saying? Or Feast of Tabernacles.
That's right.
When they show up, they like, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. Sometimes they make a donation too. Sometimes. But if you can't, as you're able, offer your services. I got skills, man. Y'all need me to look. Y'all need me to put together the equipment. You know what I'm saying? I know we're gonna be using some equipment at the school. What y'all need me to do? Y'all need me to do that? Y'all need me to clean up, break down. You know what I'm saying? Serve food, cook. What? Do it. You know what I mean? Don't come empty-handed. Offer something. Don't just show up and try to get, you know, all the benefits of it. You know what I mean? You showing up because I heard they got good lamb. I'm about to get some of that lamb.
Now you trying to break the rank just to get the damn lamb.
You came for the lamb, nigga. You ain't even come for the brotherhood and because it's the honor of the Most High. Nah, you came for the lamb. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not gonna discourage you from coming. If that's what you came for, hey man, look. All right, brother. But you know, we got brothers. We got brothers and sisters that's willing to put some efforts, put some work in.
Salaki, if I could.
Yep.
We got brothers and sisters that serve and offer themselves all day to where they can only get a piece of lamb.
Facts.
Just the juice and a couple little screens of meat.
Yeah.
You understand? Just so they can keep the law. Man, you understand?
I've done it.
I've seen it. It's like I have not been the person who had to do it, but I've seen it.
I ended up with
And-
more
and-
slugging. Go ahead.
Come. What I was gonna add is that's humbling. That's a humbling
Mhm.
experience just to see that. You know what I'm saying? The brother been working all day for the Passover, and before that night ends, he hold on. I ain't even got my lamb. Hold on. You know, he looking for a little piece of lamb to eat because he been serving everybody else.
Listen, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember I went to the Detroit cookout. My first cookout in the more food on me than in my belly.
Most High Christ.
Real talk. Cause that was my contribution. Like I didn't have nothing else to give.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? I showed up and I gave them my work.
It's like if I could.
Mm-hmm.
The saying "come as you are" applies to that. It's not written in the Bible. You understand? Come as you are. It's not in there. You understand?
Contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular belief. But if that's the, if you want to believe in that saying or that motto, right? Come as you are mean offer yourself. Offer some damn service. Offer to read for a brother. Offer to, you know what I'm saying, serve somebody. You get what I'm saying? Offer anything that you can do to make whatever we doing easier. You understand? And all we doing is serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's all we doing. We keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We keeping this high holy convocational days. You understand? So make that easy. You know what I'm saying? If that's your experience, let that be. Go ahead.
Yeah, you continue.
Okay. Salaki.
Hold on, real quick. We got somebody in the chat. Hey, Shalom, UPK Izar. She says, Shalom, y'all, Shah checking in from Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson in the building. Give it up, right? First of all.
All right.
She says, but we also God's work in real life. You might have to rephrase that. Do you mean we also do God's work in real life?
Hold on.
She said, we also God's work in real life. Shalom, Officer Madabar. How about Shimmy Shepherd Thug? Preaching Officer 5,000. Madabar in the building.
You want me to continue? Verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make.
My bad.
Go ahead,
she said
sir.
we also see God's work in real life.
That's right.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Give her a hand. You know what I'm saying?
All
We definitely see God's work in real life. I mean, hell, brother. You know what I mean? Everything about the earth is the proof of God's work. Everything about the earth. The fact that it rains, like I can't even simplify it enough. The fact that it just rains after every now and then, you know what I'm saying? The fact that the sun comes out every now and then, everything. The fact that the sun gives light to the plants is proof of God's work. And then rain falls out the sky to water those plants is God's work. And then the cycle repeats itself. That's God's work. You know what I'm saying? The seed that the plant gives off to generate new life is this, you know what I'm saying? The fact that a man and a woman's genital parts fit perfectly.
It's
God's work. I'm not trying to.
It's like, don't forget pollen, nigga.
Yeah, I'm
You
pollen.
know what I'm saying? Without pollen, you don't eat. Without pollen, you don't even get
Brother,
civilization.
Brother, do you know that you breathing feeds the plants too? They feed off of the CO2 that you emit from your
carbon
breath.
monoxide, and carbon dioxide.
You breathe out, and that replenishes the plants. And guess what? In return, they give back oxygen.
They take your carbon dioxide, I want to say, carbon dioxide, and they turn it into oxygen.
That's crazy.
That's God's work.
That's God's work, brother. Give that sister a hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way around it. I was saying earlier while you was, dealing with your issue. I was saying how like science and the Most High are hand in hand. Ain't no difference. Ain't no science contradicts the Bible. Well, the Bible contradicts science. No, it doesn't.
And Salaki, if I could, the people that says that believe that everything comes from the mother. You understand? They don't even understand the importance of the mother and the importance of the father. You know what I'm saying? And when you break down, like the contradiction lies within when you break it down to them. They might have 9 times out of 10 they do, because we, goddamn white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
So we are experienced with having the same mother and different fathers in multiple households.
Mm-hmm.
So they can understand the fact that y'all got the same mother and different daddies, and that make y'all not full-blooded brothers and sisters. You understand? But they don't understand that everything comes from your father. You are who your father is.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So, they might believe that the mother being the progenitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand that science supports the father being the progenitor.
Right.
You understand? The father carrying the seed or the lineage of that family.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
I mean, common sense tell you that the father carries it. When you
Right.
get married in Esau's kingdom, you take on his last name.
That's right. So science and the Most High coincides, because the Most High telling you that the lineage of a family rests in the father.
Right. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's right, man. You can read on.
Gonna come. Verse 18. Judges and officers shall thou make thee in all thy gates.
Yeah. Judges and officers, man. That's what we are. That's what Officer Rawam is. That's what I am. We all hold an office in the Lord's work. You understand? And judges.
It's lucky. I thought only
Huh?
God can judge you.
Yeah, well, Tupac said that. Tupac. You know what I mean? I like Tupac, but
God.
he wasn't no prophet.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
And it ain't in the Bible.
It's not. We never read we never read a book of Tupac. You know what I mean? That's just a man. But then those same people will tell you let God be true and every man a lie.
Right.
So I can't gun in your church because you a man. I can't listen to you because you a man.
But they listen to Eddie Long,
No
TD
saying,
Jakes. You know what I'm saying? Creflo Dollar. Creflo Dollar made you believe you send him all your money, then you gonna get something back.
And what did you get?
Nothing. You just
Right.
lost all your damn money.
you got effed out your money, man. You done turned yourself into a can't say well, we on YouTube. You done turned yourself into a prostitute. I mean, you done gave this man all your money, and what do you get out of it? Nothing. But let's move on. Let's keep
Come, sir. Which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and and they shall judge the people with just judgment.
Right, with just judgment, man. That's what we come to offer you. Just judgment. If the world was led by the I.S.U.P.K under Commander YAHANNA, you would see everybody would see just judgment. Our oppressor who put us in slavery, he has to go into slavery because that's just judgment. You can't just be evil to a people and not pay for it. Just like you want, y'all, YT people love to talk about black on black crime, but you know what happens every time? That's the consequence. They have to face it. What happened to nigga? What happened to Carmelo Anthony?
Right.
You locked him up because you felt like he committed a crime. Because you felt like he took somebody's life unjustly, which I disagree with. But I'm not gonna argue. I'm not in this moment. I'm not gonna argue with whether you were right or wrong for putting Carmelo Anthony behind bars. But you do see how there needs to be justice for an action that's unjust. But yet you can't see why you need to be put into chains, why your babies need to be taken from you. You understand why you need to be stripped from your position of power? You can't see that? You Christians can't see why the YT man has to be thrown in a prison cell for the rest of his life, for the rest of his existence, until he's extinct like the dodo bird and every other animal that he's hunted to extinction. You don't see that? The animals are crying out for justice. God damn, the tiger, the Siberian tiger is crying out for justice. The rhino, white rhino, is crying out for justice because these goddamn devils have hunted them to extinction. Not to eat them, just for sport. That's what's crazy. At least, see, my brothers, the Gadites, when they hunted something, they used every piece of their body, and they gave honor to that animal. They showed honor to the sacrifice that was made because they cherished the life of human beings, and that's what not even human beings, so like they cherish the life of creatures, period. And that's what you need in the earth for there to be just judgment. Read on.
Come.
You're reading to 13, by the way.
Salaki.
You passed that?
Yeah, I'm on 18. 16 and
Oh
18.
no, I'm sorry. You reading to 20. My bad.
No sweat.
I was reading to.
Judges and officers shall thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Verse 19, thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift.
Yeah, you're not supposed to say, well, I'm gonna just give it a pass because I know your mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? Your daddy is on the board of supervisors, and we real cool. So I'm gonna let you slide. I know you done killed 2 people or unalive 2 people. I'm gonna let you slide. You know what I'm saying? Because I know your daddy. That's not just. It's not righteous. That would never happen in the UPK. I don't give a damn who you are. If you are not doing what is lawful and righteous, you will be dealt with for it. You'll be dealt with for it. You don't just get well, he's an officer of 1,000. Yeah, we're gonna let him slide this time. Oh, he's a captain. He's a general. This is commanding general. We're just gonna let him slide. No. I don't know what twisted ideas y'all get in y'all head about the UPK, but that's not how we do things in here. You know what I'm saying? We do it by what the scriptures say.
That's right.
Ain't no, what does it say?
Salaki. It says, thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons.
There ain't no respect of persons, man. Just because you got a different type of rank or a different type of position, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I mean, whatever your status is, does not matter. I don't care if you're a judge. I don't care if you're a cop. I don't care if your dad is on the school board. I don't care what your position is or what your status is. Justice has to be served one way or another. It has to be. For the earth to have balance and justice, this is what has to happen. But because the earth is not run by righteous people, in fact, it's run by the unjust, look at what's going on.
That's right.
Look at what's going on. You wonder why people riot? You wonder why people protest and get armed up and ready to go to battle, having civil wars and all these type of things, because there is no justice in the earth for anybody. The Bible says when the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice. But right now, the wicked are in power. So the people mourn. Read on.
Come. Neither take a gift, for a gift doeth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous.
Right. A bribe will blind you. A bribe, when somebody offers you a gift or a bribe, it'll make you overlook. Like, that's exactly the same thing they do in the courtroom. Somebody offers you something like, hey, look, man, take this and we'll lighten the sentence for you. That's what lawyers do. That's what the prosecutor and the defendant is doing.
They bribing the hell out of that judge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they bribing each other.
That's why pedophiles is back on the streets. You know what I'm saying? They got 3 and 4 cases of playing with children or child It's like we don't.
No, we not on TikTok.
Okay, child pornography,
Is
stuff
anybody-
like that. You understand? Open cases. They got cases open and they still, you know what I'm saying, able to make money, make millions. You know what I'm saying? And then end up with another case.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because them and the judge are in cahoots.
Right.
And when that judge takes that bribe, he's no better than that PDF person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's no better than him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're saying your crime ain't that bad because you got $100,000 to spare. And this is the things that the scribes and Pharisees did in the scriptures. If you understand, you know what I'm saying? They knew they can kill based on or do whatever crime based on what they had. You understand? It's like
You understand? A bribe would blind
Ain't no
the
sweat out.
eyes of the wise. That's so poetic. You understand? Read that part again where it says what it says about bribe.
Come. Neither take a gift, for a gift do it blind the eyes of the wise.
That's so that's so poetic. You understand? A gift blinds the eyes of the wise. I mean, that's a bar. That's a song, nigga. Is we in song? Nope. That's a song. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call bars nowadays. I don't say bars. I say songs. But
Okay, no sweat.
yeah, man. A gift blinds the eyes of the wise. Meaning you would be wise. You would deal with things wisely. But as soon as somebody offer you something, you know what I'm saying? All wisdom goes out the window.
That's right.
Just like that napkin without my hand. You understand? It's gone. It's out. You're no longer wise because you took that gift. Read on.
Come, verse 20. That which is altogether just
Hold up. It says the gift blinds the eyes of the wise and what?
and pervert the words of the righteous.
And it perverts the words of the righteous. You know what I mean? So imagine if, Commander YAHANNA was offered a gift by the FBI. It was some billions of dollars or millions of dollars or something like that. Right? They offered him a few $1,000,000 so that he could change his message. And Commander YAHANNA declined. You know what people would have done if they were offered millions of dollars just to change their message? Just to say, you know what? I ain't got to tell. That's what your pastor did.
Or what Martin Luther King did.
That's what Martin Luther King did. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's what all your so-called leaders have done. They took that bribe and changed their message.
What your favorite rapper does.
Without question. Without even considering, just saying, oh yeah, millions, illions. That's what. You never heard that song? Yeah, Young Thug. It's a pretty good song. But yeah, they take that millions, man. They'll take that million. That's what Steve Harvey said he'll do it. What does Steve Harvey say?
He say he'll paint his whole behind pink and act like a monkey for those millions of dollars. And in the sense of that, right? Just imagine what he's telling you is it's okay to be a pet. It's okay to be underneath the YT man. You understand? Even though the Most High God says you are above him, according to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 and 14 and 1. You understand? So what he's saying is he'll go against the Most High God and paint his behind pink and act just like a monkey. Even though I'm pretty sure he understands that they resemble the monkey more. Thin hair, thin lips. You know what I'm saying? You shave a whole monkey, you know, he ain't got no melanin.
Yeah, he pink.
You know what I'm saying? That's a pink animal under there. You understand? So in resemblance, he's more the YT man is more closer to the monkey. But Steve Harvey is saying that he'll act just like that for millions of dollars.
Yeah. Cause he ain't got no integrity, man. What do you say? Yahweh, Navajo people only give warrior names to female children. Okay. The male ego should definitely be studied. I haven't heard that before. The Navajo people only give warrior names to female children. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. I might look into that. But yeah, you say male ego should definitely be studied. Hey man, listen, man. White ego, white male ego should definitely be studied because that's I used to work with a dude one time. He told me that he would he would sabotage his own life just to be right about something. Like he doesn't care if he's wrong. Being wrong does not matter. He will jeopardize everything just to be right. That's that's a different level of ego. Like it's,
Delusional.
yeah, like some egos make sense. Like it makes sense to be as a man. It makes sense to have an ego. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense to have pride as a man. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't let no woman trample over my pride and my ego. You know what I mean? Just because she being emotional or something. I wouldn't allow that. But I also wouldn't allow my ego to make me make her do something unrighteous. You know what I'm saying? Or I know I'm wrong, but I can't admit it. Like nah, that's you just being proud.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But there's a certain level that of pride that a man has to have as a man. But this man, the man that done enslaved our people, this man, his ego is above and beyond anything that you could ever even perceive as an ego. This motherfucker, he will unalive everybody based off his ego. If you touch his pride at all, he will come to work and bring a bomb. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
How many times have we seen the Boston bomber, the Unabomber? You know what I'm saying? Columbine, all these school shootings, they will, because of their pride, because they can't, their fragile egos cannot handle being broken. They'll just unalive everybody. So the white man's ego definitely should be studied, and not studied to where we can utilize it. Study to know what to do with it. Put that shit in the cage. Put that shit in the earth, in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said there is ego, nothing is pure. I'm not so what you're saying. I don't know what Yogananda is. I don't know what that is. You gonna have to break these things down. A humble heart can receive the most highly message very clearly. Humble heart can receive the most high messages very clear. I agree. I agree with that. All right, so let's read on.
All right. This is verse 20. It's like it's 16 and 20. That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
That's it. That's 20.
Okay.
All right, you can give me verse 21. Verse 21 through 23. I'm sorry, 21 through 27. 26. 21 through 26. No, 27. 21 through 27.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, chapter 17. It's like chapter 16, verse 20.
16.
21, Salaki.
Yeah.
In the Hebrew, La'ah, Ta'ai, Laka, Asherah, Kal Atazah, Atazal, Mazabak.
I'm tripping.
Go ahead.
You're gonna give me to
21.
5. You're gonna give me 16 from 21 to 17 and 5.
7 verses.
Yep. You good? Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay, that's what. Yahweh, Allahayaka, Ashar, the Ashar Laka, verse 22. Wala'ah, the Kwayam Laka, Matazabah, Ashar, Shana'ah, Yahweh, Allahayaka, chapter 17, verse 1. La Tazabak, La Yahweh, Alahayaka, Shawar, Washar, Ashar, Yahaya, Bun, Mawam, Kal, Dabar, Rai, Kaya, Tawa Abath, Yawa, Alahayaka, Haya, Salakia, Hawa'a, verse 2, Kaya, Yamataza Bakwa Rab Salaki, Bakwa Rabka, Ba'akad, Sha'ara Yaka, Ashar, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Nathan, Laka, Ayash, Awa, Asha, Ashar, Yasha, Ata, Hara'ai, Ba'ayanya, Yahweh, Alahayaka, La'abar, Baraya, Salaki, Barayathwa, Salaki, Barayathwa, verse 3, Wayaka, Wayaabar, Alahayam, Akariam, Wayash, Salaki, Wayasha, Salaki, Wayashata, Wayashatak, Wa, Laham, Walasha, Walashamash, Awa, Layarak, Awa, Lakal, Tazaba'a, Hashamyam, Ashar, La'a, Tazawa, Yathya. Verse 4, Wahagad, Laka, Washa, Ma'aita, Wadarash, Salaki, Wadarasha, Hayata, Wahana, Amah, Nakawan, Hadabar, Na'ash, Salaki, Na'asha, Ha, Hatawa'aiba, Salaki, Hatawa'aiba, Haza'at, Salaki, Haza'ata, Salaki, Haza'ai, Bayasharala, verse 5, Wakawataza, I, Ha, Asha, Salaki, Ha, Ayash, Ha, Wa'a, Hawa, Ata, Ha, Salaki,
It's
Salaki, Ha, Asha, Ha, Wa'a, Ashar, Ashawa, I, Hadabar, Ara'a, Hara'a, Hazaha, Al, Sha'ara, Yaka, I, Ayash, Awa, I, Ha'asha, Wasakwal Thumb, Ba'a, Banyam, Wama, Salaki, Wamath, Wa. In the English, it reads, verse 21.
no, you're going to read through 6.
Oh, through
Right.
6? I thought you said through 5.
Hold on. You started at
21.
21, right? Okay, yeah, you're right. My bad. Footnote through 5. All right, so yeah, in the English, publisher.
In the English, book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 21. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of the Lord thy God, which thou shalt make thee. Verse 22. Neither shalt thou set up any images, which the Lord thy God hated. Verse 17.
Damn, hold
like
on.
it, chapter 17.
Yeah, hold on. That's boom. Like That's that mind blowing moment. It said you should not set up any images which the Lord thy God hated. Well, if I'm not mistaken, we do know that the Most High hates Esau, right?
That's right.
So if the Most High hates Esau, which is the so-called white man, white T man, whatever you want to call it, and the Christian church set up a white image of Jesus Christ, wouldn't that make that an image that God hates?
That's right.
And so your Christian church is setting up an image. Now, y'all know this. Like black people out there that's listening to this, y'all know that Jesus is not white. Y'all know it. Because when we ask you in the streets, you say, oh yeah, we know that. Oh, we already know that Jesus ain't white. Oh, we know, yeah, we know God's children is black. We know that we the children. Correct me if I'm wrong. Niggas tell me all the time, yeah, we know that. I already know that. I try to tell them, hey, brother, you know that Jesus is black, right? You know you an Israelite, right? Oh, yeah, brother, I already know that. Everybody says it, but then they go to church on Sunday. And in that same church, there's a white man on the wall, in the windows. You know them decorative windows that they all got?
Stained
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 glass.
glass.
And stained glass windows got some white man holding a baby lamb. But you steady going there and you know that we the children of Israel. You know that Jesus is black. You know this, and you know that God hates. If you don't know, you know now. God hates the so-called white man. He hates him. But you going to church and you got a white up in the image that God hates. Especially when you're treating that image as if it's God. The first commandment is to have no God over me. That ain't God. Jesus is not God. He'll tell you that himself. Christ was not God. And that white boy that's hanging up in your church is not God at all. But yet you're going to church every Sunday. Well, you hate God. Gotta hate him if you're not doing what he told you to do. If you're setting up images that he hates. If it's my house and I say, baby, don't put that picture on the wall. I don't like that picture. I hate that picture. And she put it up anyway. What am I supposed to think?
All right.
Like, bitch, you fucking hate me. Get out my house. You know what I'm saying? I told you not to put that picture up. We gotta argue. Now we gotta fight. Now you got to go. Something gotta shake. You gotta go to your mama's house or something. So I ain't dealing with this whole you putting, you know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord is looking at us. Like the wife that don't do a damn thing he tells us to do. Read on.
Come. Chapter 17, verse 1. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any evil favoredness.
Damn, that's heavy. When it says evil favoredness, it's an evil thing to just say, you know what, I'm gonna give God this. Like, you know, it means nothing to you because it has a blemish. Now, we might not understand that in today's time because we're not into agriculture like we used to be. You know what I'm saying? We might not understand that in today's culture because the average Negro don't own the goddamn bull. He ain't got one bull, let alone enough to be able to sacrifice one. So we don't understand that these days. But if you were somebody who has cattle, you know that your prize bull is the one that ain't got no blemishes. Both of his nuts work. You understand? He's strong. He's got long horns. That's your prize bull. You would not just give that away. It would mean something to you to give it away. And that's what the Lord wants. He don't want you to give a bull that's half retarded. That can't make babies, it's sterile. You get what I'm saying? You gonna get, I'm gonna give him this bull. The bull don't mean anything to you. So sacrificing it isn't really a sacrifice. It's more like a relief. You ain't gotta feed this damn retarded ass bull no more. The bull retarded. The bull can't even pull his own weight. The bull can't produce no babies. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm gonna just get rid of this bull. I don't even much want it. I'm just, I'm come to the priest and tell them, this is my sacrifice. Nigga, that's evil heart. What do you call it?
Evil favoredness.
That's evil favoredness. you evil as hell for that. You want to sacrifice a bull that don't mean nothing to you? That's not a sacrifice.
It's like if I could, because your intentions behind it is evil.
Exactly.
You don't want it, so you want to give it to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's evil.
Your trash is not God's treasure. I know you thought that in the world because, they always say one man's trash, another man's trash. They say that about women. Fucking disgusting, nigga. So then that last nigga threw away the woman. So now his trash is your treasure. You are disgusting. Because you ain't no telling what he did with that thing.
Come bucket.
You know what I mean? She done, never mind. And anyway, she done did some nasty stuff with that man. And he trashed her. Literally. Trashed every orifice in her body. And you like, oh yeah, this is my treasure. Yeah, that's what you believe about women. But that's not how the Lord is. Lord don't want your trash. He wants your prized possession. He wants you to make a sacrifice. And the only way you can make something a sacrifice is if it means something to you.
It's like if I could, you wouldn't even give that to your wife.
You know what I
You
mean?
want to give it to the Lord.
She gonna look at you crazy as hell.
And it's true. And what you do for the Lord is your first wife. You understand? So it's, you deem that is more important than what you do for Most High God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Work today, so thank you others for teaching. Most High Christ, man. You know what I mean? We here. And you can ask any questions, you know what I mean? But definitely, you know what I'm saying? Tune in whenever you get a chance. If you at the slavery, we appreciate you for being in the class. I mean, hell, we in hell. I know I be at the slavery and I be getting in trouble for listening to class. You know what I'm saying? Or listening to the captain speak. You know what I mean? They try to tell me to stay off my phone. So you here. You know what I mean? That's what matters. No sweat. All right, we gonna do this work regardless. All right, let's keep reading. We only got a few more minutes.
For that is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Verse 2. If there be found among you, wherein any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgressing his covenant, verse 3, excuse me, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the hosts of heavens, which I have not commanded. Verse 4, and it be told thee that thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that should be abomination is wrought in Israel. Verse 5.
The word wrought means to bring forth, right? To work for it, right? To put in the work to do it, but to bring it forth. Man,
then shalt thou bring forth that man or woman, Salaki, or that woman, which have committed that wickedness, Salaki, that wicked thing, unto thy gates, even that man or thy woman, and thou shalt stone them with stones till they die.
I mean, this is the law. This is the action of the law. You understand? When you don't do what the Most High tells you to do, in this instance, what was it that you did?
You worshipped other gods, such as the moon, the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me find it.
No, that's good enough. Don't even worry about it. The moon, you know why they named Monday? They named it after the moon.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
In Spanish, it's lunes. The word Luna
Yeah,
is
it's
moon.
lunar is moon.
Yeah. Monday is named after the moon. They worship the moon.
Sunday is named after the sun.
Sunday is named after the sun.
Hmm.
You worship the sun. You go to church on Sunday to worship the sun. You don't think that you're worshiping the sun. You think that you're going in there to learn about God. You don't. Because everything that Officer Rawam is reading to you in the English, you understand, you have never even been told in the church. So how does that work? Do you even believe in God? Does the Christian church even teach the Bible? Or do they teach what they care about? When they find something in the Bible, do they just teach it because they agree? But then when it comes down to the Most High destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, they tell you can't judge somebody for loving who they love. Well, the Lord sure as hell fucking did. He sure goddamn put them all to death. You understand? Because they were freaky and nasty and disgusting. And the Lord said, you are not to lie down with man as you lie down with womankind. You understand? So somebody's not telling the truth here. You going to church and you're not learning about the Most High. You're learning lies. You feel what I'm saying? And you're worshiping another God. And you are going to be you are going to have your life taken from you because of it. And this is your warning. See, you haven't had your life taken yet. You've been doing it for who knows how long. You haven't had your life taken yet. This is your warning. And I'm also letting you know that I'm not going to be the one to take it. You know what I mean? I ain't get that order. Commander YAHANNA give me that order. I ain't got no problem following the order. But I ain't been given that order. You understand? Moses gave that order in Egypt. When they escaped out of Egypt, he told all of the Israelites that followed him, choose this day who you will serve, whether you will serve the Most High or not. And everybody that chose not to serve the Most High, you know what he did? Moses gave an order for everybody that followed God to go out and unalive their fellow brother. And they unalive 3,000 men, I believe. 3,000 men and women. If I'm not mistaken. It was in the thousands for sure. I believe it was 3,000. 3,000 people because they would not serve God. You know, Moses unalived an Egyptian himself when he saw his brother was being afflicted by an Egyptian. When he saw his brother was being tormented. He saw police brutality in his day. And he sought justice by his own hand. But the Lord didn't say, you know what, you was wrong for that. I'm going to punish you now. He saw, you know what, in your ignorance, you showed the type of spirit that these people need. In your ignorance, you showed that you have a zeal for your people, that you want to free them, even though you got all of this wealth and all this power, being Pharaoh's son, adopted son. You could have everything, and yet you went to the lowly. You went down to the poor of the earth, the poor of Egypt, the slaves of Egypt, and had mercy on them. You got the right spirit. Let's about what type of man that you should be in the Christian church. Because when I was coming up in the Christian church, they tell you gotta be soft. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in touch with your feminine side. You gotta be in this bitch singing every day, all damn day, banging a tambourine. No, nigga, I'm not with that. That's not, it didn't sit right with my spirit whatsoever. Now, I know I'm talking about, you know, my personal experience, but I'm sure many of y'all have gone through the same thing. If you ever came out of that Christian church, I'm sure you felt the same way. It's too effeminate. It's too girly, man. Look at all these pastors that's homosexual now. They got first men. They ain't got first ladies no more. They got first men. You know what I mean? The pastor got a husband, and he's the first man over your church. Come on, man. They don't sit right with me. I had to get up out of there. And guess where I ended up? Actually serving the Most High. Actually doing what the Lord said to do. You know what I mean? So let's continue. I don't mean to rant. Like we ain't got. We over the time. But go ahead.
From a it's like I forgot my clip.
We had the book of Deuteronomy 17, and I think the last verse you read was 9.
5.
Oh, 9, 5.
So you have to break it down in the Hebrew 6.
Oh, you read 5?
Okay.
Okay. Let me read 5 one more time. Just so.
Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even the man, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die.
Okay. No sweat. So let's read the Hebrew. I'm gonna read Deuteronomy 17:6 through 12. All right, the book of Deuteronomy 17 verse 6 in the Hebrew. Al payah shanyam aidayam awa shalashha aidayam yawamath hamath la'a yawamath al payah aid akad. Verse 7 yad aidayam ta haya bawa bara'ashna la hamayathwa Wayad call Ha'im ba Akar Naha wa ba Irath ha Ra'ai ma Quarabak ma Quarabka verse 8 Kaya Yapala ma Maka the bar la Mashapat Bayan dam la dam Bayan Dayan la Dayan Wabayan Nagaai la Nagaai Debaria Rayabath Ba Sha'ai Rayaka Wa Kwamath Wa Ail Yath Al Ha Makwawam Ashar Yabakar Yahweh Alahayaka Bawa. Verse 9 Waba'ath all ha kahanyam ha lawayam ha layam wa all ha shapat ashar yahaya ba yamayam ha hama wa da rashath wa da rashath waha gayadwa laka ath the bar ha mashapat. Verse 10 wa aishayath al payah ha the bar ashar yagayadwa laka mana ha makwam ha wa ashar yabakar yahweh wa shamarath la aishawath kakal ashar Yawa Rawak Yawa Rawaka. Verse 11 I'll Payah Ha Tawara Ashar Yawarawaka Wa I'll Ha Mashapat Ashar Ya Marwa Laka Ta Aisha La'a Tasawar Manam Ha Dabar Ashar Yagayadwa Laka Yamayan La Shama'al. Verse 12. Wa Ha Ayash Ashar Ya Aisha Ba za the one La Labal Taya Shamai All Ha Kahan Ha Imad La Sharat Shema or Sham Ath Yahweh Alahayaka Awa Al Ha Shapat Wamath Ha Ayash Ha Hawa'a Wa Ba'ay Rath Hara'ai Ma Yasha Allah. In English, please.
Slaki in the English, chapter 17, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
At the mouth of two witnesses
Mm.
or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
But at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to
Yeah,
death.
man, you gotta have two witnesses or more. Yeah, if the punishment for the sin you committed calls for being unalived, there has to be at least two witnesses to say, yeah, he did this. You know what I'm saying? This is law. So not only is the Bible full of science, it's also full of law. How to go to law, how to go to court, if you would.
Justice.
It's justice. Now, what we've been doing is we've been trying to go to justice with the unjust, with the unrighteous. You know, these people, they let themselves go get away with all types of crimes, but they hold us accountable, even when we didn't commit the crime. Where's the witness? And when there is a witness, it's a false witness. This is why one of the sins is committing, thou shalt not bear false witness. That's a law. Listen, if we as a people were under righteous authority, for one, we would not bear false witness, or otherwise we would face the punishment for bearing false witness. And when you are accused of committing a crime, because nobody will bear false witness against you, if you're innocent, you will not be punished for that crime. Think about how many black men lives would be saved if that were the case. How many Mexican men lives would be saved? How many indigenous men lives would be saved because somebody lied on them and said they committed a crime they didn't commit? Some man is sitting in prison for 14, 15, 20 plus years over a crime he didn't commit just to be exonerated because new evidence shows that he didn't commit the crime. It's called, in America, they call it the honor system. Right? You give your word and people take your word for it. In New York, they say word is bond. If I ain't got my word, I ain't got nothing. But in America, in the white man's society, your word means nothing. Because people lie every day. People lie under oath. That's why I had to make a crime for that. I mean, I had to make a law for that. For lying under oath. Because you will lie under oath. You will put your hand on the Bible, swear to God, and lie. You know what I mean? So, continue.
Come. Verse 7. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death.
Right. And so now, because you're a witness, and of course you're not bearing false witness, you gonna be the one to do the carry out the judgment. You gonna be the one. It ain't no police officer putting you down, sending you down an electric chair, or putting needles in your arm and pulling the trigger. No, you're going to do it. You were the witness. You witnessed this man committing this crime, so now you have to do it. And guess you know what type of guilt lays on you when you got to be the one to do to pull the trigger. When you're lying, imagine lying on somebody saying that they committed this crime, and now the punishment for it is to have your life taken from you, and the person that lied on you has to do it. If you have any decency in your heart, you would feel guilty and say, dang, I can't do this. And I believe that's the purpose of that law. You said he did it, so now you have to be the one to carry out the punishment. You listen, I wouldn't do it if I knew I was lying. I'm not about to take this man's life. You know what? Damn, I lied. I ain't gonna lie. I fabricated the story. He didn't really.
He said I lied. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie. I lied. You know what I'm saying? I fabricated this story. He didn't really do what I said he did. I wouldn't be able to go through with it because the content, I would feel so guilty taking this person's life by my own hands. It'd be different if let somebody else do it. If I let somebody else do it and I don't see it happening, I don't feel so guilty. I would still feel guilty, but I wouldn't feel so guilty if I let somebody else do it. You know what I mean? But if I gotta do it, boy, I'd be so oof. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do not take an innocent man's life. You know what I mean? So like that's what we need in this earth. What you need, brother?
Oh, phone died.
What kind of plug you need?
Uh,
Go ahead and read.
uh,
Pass it on.
this one. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. Thou shalt put the evil away from among you. Verse 8. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then thou shalt arise and get thee up into a place which the Lord thy God shall choose. Verse 9, and thou shalt come unto the priests and the Levites, like it, the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall shew thee the sentence of judgment. Verse 10, and thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall give thee shall shew thee.
Now,
and that go ahead.
if I may select it. Now, the Christian church wants you to believe that all of this is done away with. You think that, like, they don't even believe that America's judicial system will ever be done away with. Like, they keep trying to fix the judicial system, right? They keep trying to call for justice and make changes to the way justice is handled and carried out, right? Am I wrong? But yet they want you to believe that the way that God set it up is done. It's over. This is the Most High setting up these laws and how to carry out justice. And you believe you allow your Christian pastor to tell you that all of that is just no longer existing. That the way that it was taken care of and handled throughout all of this time, thousands of years until Christ showed up, is just gone. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would question that if I had any sense. Unfortunately, I didn't have no sense when I was in the church. So I can kind of sympathize for you. Maybe you just don't got no goddamn sense. Maybe you're too stupid to realize I was a young child. I wasn't allowed to have common sense. You get what I'm saying? My grandmother told me that you're going to do this until I stay. You going to... Mute this shit. You going to do this until I tell you otherwise. This is what my grandmother told me. Or you're old enough to do something else on your own accord. Because I wasn't allowed to do that. So maybe you just don't got no common sense. Maybe you just don't have any willpower. Y'all say y'all got free will. Maybe you just don't have any of that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, read on.
Come. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee. Verse 11. According to the sentence of the law, which they shall teach thee, according to the judgments, which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do.
The Christian church should have been teaching the law this whole time. It should have been showing you what will happen if you disobey the law, if you don't keep the law of God. You know what I mean? And at the same time, showing you mercy. Listen, man, I understand we've been separated from these laws for a long time. So I understand why you don't keep them. But we got to keep these laws. because these are the punishments that we would be receiving if not for mercy. I could see if a Christian pastor came from that angle, I would be, he wouldn't have no issues for me. Because then at least he's being real, saying, you know what, we can't enact these laws, these punishments, for not keeping the law. We can't take you outside and stone you, because then we'll be sentenced and judged by the American government. So we can't do that. But what you should do is live by these laws as best as possible without having somebody to come and take your life. If they taught from that, I would have much more respect for the Christian church. I have zero respect for the Christian church. Your money. It's a scam. Scam likely. Scam indeed. Read on. Is there any more?
Come. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand nor to the left.
Yep. You should not deviate from these laws. But the Christian church has deviated from these laws. Read on.
Come. Verse 12. And the man that will do presumptively.
Let me see the word.
Presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even the man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel.
Yeah, presumptuously just means like, out of pride. You know what I mean? Like, you just feel like, hey man, I'm gonna do this anyway. I mean, it's presumptuously.
Come. Verse 13. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. Verse 14. It's like what verse?
You stopping at 16.
No,
you read 12, right?
You read them in the Hebrew.
Right. But you read from 12, right?
No.
11?
I read from
You stopping at
12. I'm stopping at 12. That was it.
All right, cool. All right, most on correct, man. Give it up. All right, so you stopped at 12. Now we have to read 13. We got to read through 6, I believe. 13. Oh no, we read to 20.
I know we stop at 18 and 6.
18, 6. Yeah. You say you read the 12, right?
Stop at 19.
Yeah, 19, and then we'll read from 20 to 6. That'll be the last set. All right, so let me read this real quick. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter, what is it, 17?
17 and 13.
17 and 13 in the Hebrew. Wakal ha'aim yashamaywa wa yara'awa wala'a yazayad one Iwad. Verse 14. Kayata ba'a all ha'aratza ashar Yahweh. Yahweh, where was I? Yahweh Alahayaka Bawa Ma Korab Kayad. Oh, so like Ak Yaka Dashayam Al Yaka La Malak La Da Wakal La Dath La Thatha Al Yaka Ayash Nakarya Ashar La Kayad, or I'm sorry, Akyaka Ha Wa'a, verse 16, Rakwa La'a Yaraba Lawa Was Yum Wala'a Yashiyab Ath Ha'aim Matazarium Ha Lama'ain Ha Rabawath Sawas Wayahawa Amar Lakam La'a that's the Sop one. La Shawab by the Rock. Hazaha Ayuwad, verse 17. Wala'a Ya Rabah Lawa Nashayam Wala'a Ya Sawar La Babwa Wa Kasap Wa Zahab La'a Ya Rabah Lawa Ma'ad, verse 18. Wahaya Ya Ka Kashabathwa Al Kasa'a Ma Malak Tawa Wakathab Lawa Ath Ma Shana Ha Ta Rara Ha Za'ath Al Sapar Malapanya Ha Kahanyam Ha Layam, verse 19. Wahayatha Imwa Wa Kora'a Wa Kal Yamaya Khayayan Kaya Yawa La Ma'ain Ya Lamad La Yara'awa. It's like La Yara'aha Ath Yahweh Alahaya Wa La Shamar Ath Yahweh Alahaya Wa La Shamar Ath Call the Barya Ha Tawara Ha Za'ath Wa'ath Ha Kakwa Yum Ha Allah La Aisha Ha La Aishatam. Alright, that's it.
All right, this is verse 13 in the English. And all the people shall hear and fear. So like verse 14 in the English. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Verse 15, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren thou shalt set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Verse 16, but he shall not multiply horses unto himself,
Now
nor
stop.
come.
Now these right here are a few verses that many people get misunderstood. Shalom, Yahushua Thaba Shimya Shah, Princess Labaya says property of rib of priest and officer of 1,000 kapayar, checking in for San Antonio, Most High Christ. Alright, these people get these verses here, these next two verses, or two or three or whatever, misinterpreted. You understand? When it says thou shalt not multiply horses unto yourself, does that mean that you're not allowed to have 10 or more horses?
Lie.
Does that mean you're not allowed to have 3 horses?
Lie.
No. If you can afford to have 3 or more horses, then you can have 3 or more horses. But read it again.
Come. But he shall not multiply horses unto himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt. Oh, Salaki. I was supposed to go up a little bit. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Yeah, that's important too. Don't put a ruler over you that's not one of your people. First of all, you understand? So this is why the I.S.U.P.K does not vote. We don't vote because we refuse to put any nation, any other race of people above us to rule over us. I would not vote for Donald Trump because he's not my brother. I would not vote for Obama because he's not my brother. I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's not my sister. I would not vote for Biden because he's not my brother. I would not vote for any of the 48 presidents because they are not my people. You understand? They're not my brother or my sister. And thou shalt not set anybody who's not your brother or sister over you. Read on.
Come. Nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to
Mhm.
the end that he should multiply horses.
Uh-huh.
For as much as the Lord has said unto ye, Salakia, ye shall henceforth return no more that way.
Mhm.
So basically, if I could, what the Most High God is saying, that you shouldn't set somebody over you. That's a brother who's going to sell out his people for the gain of riches.
Yeah.
Meaning that he will cause for the fat in his pockets, he would cause his people to go back into bondage or back into slavery. You understand?
Listen, facts. You know what I'm saying? Give me my hand. You know what I mean? But I would add, whether they're a brother or not, you're not supposed to add put nobody over you at all.
No, this was saying, it's like if I could, this was saying once you set a brother, once a brother is over you, this is a rule for him as being a king over God's chosen people, that he doesn't multiply horses unto himself and cause his people to go back into Egypt. Egypt meaning bondage in this passage, just for the gain of multiple horses, meaning like the gain of riches.
Okay. No sir. All right. So you know what I mean? You don't want to do that, definitely. I mean, don't put somebody over you who's only gonna fatten his pocket, like the brother said. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that we have done for 400 years. We've done that. We've done that shit since we've been in slavery. We want somebody over us, and all they want is gain from it. You know what I mean? What can I get out of being in this position?
Salaki, we set a man above us who did just that. His name was Dr. Martin Luther King. What he did was he multiplied his riches. He multiplied his own lust and pleasures and sold us out to be in bondage and slavery. Because we was doing just fine without the so-called white man and without, you know what I'm saying, eating at their restaurants or shopping at their shopping stores, etc. Going to their schools, although our books was withered and deemed unfittable, we had a lot more to teach our people than just school curriculum. You understand? Go ahead.
Right, and that didn't set us back because we was doctors.
Yeah.
We had in the 1920s, way before integrating to these so-called white schools, we had doctors coming out of our schools. We had adult doctors. So that means that they had gotten some type of education to be able to become doctors. You understand? So we didn't need their schools. We joined their schools, and what happened to in 2026? We joined these schools in like the 60s, and now in 2026, what has become of our education?
Shit.
We've been worse off. Like we still got those some of those young black students who excel and become scientists and brain surgeons and stuff like that.
But they know nothing of, if I could, they know nothing of who they are, where they come from, the language that they used to speak. They know nothing of their history.
And they know
for the sacrifice of their education. So they may excel and become doctors, lawyers, great people, you understand, or deemed great in this society, but for the sacrifice of that, they know nothing of who they are or how they can help their people or God's law, statutes, and commandments.
Right. And to add to that, they know nothing um they don't. All right, we talking about students who still excel in this society for at a minuscule amount, right? Versus the abundance of doctors and lawyers and all those things that we had before the civil rights movement in our schools. You understand? Our people, man, it's fleeting from me. But I'll just say this: as a people, we were never supposed to integrate with our oppressors, because all we got out of the deal was poorer education. Not only did we get poorer education, when we excelled, we were still being held back because of racism. You had teachers who would not give our kids good grades because they're black, simply for that reason only. You know what I'm saying? And you have people like Martin Luther King to thank for that. All right, we don't. I don't want to waste some more time. Let's just continue with these scriptures. We got one more set to go.
Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. Turn away.
All right. So, for the sake of multiplying horses, you understand the horses. You know what I mean, like you said, is wealth. It's kind of like look at a horse like a car. Horses were the way of transportation back then. Nowadays, horses are your Lamborghinis. In fact, Lamborghini uses the bull. We'll use the horse as the Mustang. The Mustang is a horse. You understand? They call it horsepower. No sweat, you excuse. You understand? They look at where you at?
17.
All right, you can be excused.
Look me real quick.
You understand? Modern day horses are your cars. You understand? So just imagine what type of person has multiple cars, and so many cars that it's like, damn, you must be, you know what I mean? You must be rich. You must got it like that. You got all these cars. You understand? There's a type of person that has 4 different types of cars in their driveway. That person has money, man. You understand? You see? Verse 17, neither shall, so verse 16. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Again, what the officer said about return to Egypt is true. That's synonymous with bondage or slavery. So you shouldn't have somebody set over you that's going to basically put you back in slavery. You understand? And we have gotten that through Martin Luther King and Obama and Donald Trump. That has happened to us because we have been put under these people. All right, verse 17. Neither shall he multiply to himself. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself. And this is the part that a lot of you people, a lot of you fake Israelites, a lot of you Christians, you misinterpret and you think that this means that you're not allowed to have multiple wives. You're not allowed to have more than one wife. You understand? This is the scripture you go to. So I'm about to educate you to let you know. Now, I'm not in any wise saying that a man has to have more than one wife. Not saying that. I'm not saying in any way that a man should have a wife at all. Some men are better off single, without a wife. You understand? Some men are. Paul did it. Christ did it. These are great men. You understand? So you don't need to have a wife. But there's a type of man who will multiply women unto himself for what purpose? SHALAM. Yahweh. For what purpose? Right? Let's read. Verse 17. These shall he multiply wives himself, that his heart turn not away. Now that is what the point of it is. He should not have multiple wives or have any wives at all if they are going to turn his heart away from the Most High. What's an example of that? I believe Solomon is an example of that. You understand? Where if you have a wife at all, you might start keeping the traditions of those wives or that wife. You might have one wife and she turns you away from. Look at what Job's wife did. Job's wife said, curse God and be done with him. You understand? What was the prophet Elias or Elijah? Elijah had a wife. He had one wife. He had one wife, and she was the apple of his eye. She was more important to him than the Most High, and he gave her a stroke. Why? Because his heart was turning away from the Most High. So you could have one wife. You could have one wife and she turned your heart away from God, and that is what the Most High does not want. That's why this law exists. That's what it means to not have multiply wives unto yourself, so that they turn your heart away. You understand? Verse 17. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. Now, is it wrong to have silver and gold? Is it a sin to have silver and gold? If it's so sinful to have multiple wives, then would you also say that it's a sin to have silver and gold, which in today's terms it translates to money? Is it a sin to have money and riches? Because if so, then your Christian pastor is a sinner. He might have one wife, but he got money. You pay him tithes. He pulling up in Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces. He getting on private jets, going to secluded islands where who knows what the hell is going on there. He's got money. Got these pimp suits. You know what I mean? Got all this fancy clothing and jewelry. He got wealth. He's got silver and gold. So is it a sin to have silver and gold? Like it's a sin to have multiple wives? If so, then your Christian pastor is a sinner. If so, then Martin Luther King was a sinner. If so, anybody with some money is a sinner. Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, all of these men that you look up to, Kirk Franklin, Tyler Perry, all of these men, they have silver and gold. They have it. So are they sinners? If I'm a sinner for having multiple wives, then surely they're sinners for having silver and gold. But you don't ever go to that part of this verse. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand what it's saying. You shouldn't have so much silver and gold that that's your God. That's what you serve. You serve silver and gold. You don't serve the Most High. You don't serve the Lord. You serve silver and gold. Whatever it takes to get silver and gold, you'll do. Even if you gotta paint your butt pink or red and act like a baboon. Even if you gotta sell out your people for some dream you had. Even if you gotta teach them some false religion like Christianity, it'll get you silver and gold. That's what's unlawful. That's what's a sin, man. You understand? Verse 18, and it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priest, the Levite. So he has to keep these laws. He has to keep these laws on deck, close by him. He can't be a king or a ruler and not have the laws of God. It's just like the Constitution of America. The president has to obey the Constitution of America. He has to live by it. He has to know it. You can't be the president and not know the Constitution. So just like any ruler, you got to know the rules that apply to your people. Same rules you're enforcing on the people that serve you, you have to know them. You have to keep them. You have to fulfill them. Somebody break the law, you got to know what to do about it. Oh yeah, he unalived his 8 kids. Ah, damn. Well, the law said, let me go back to the law of God. Let me see what that says. Okay, well, you do that. Well, then you got This is what gotta happen. So, you know what I mean? Have the trial, find me the 2 witnesses, 2 or more, and yeah, you know, see what happens. If he's guilty, this is the punishment you gotta give him. And that's it. And that's what a righteous kingdom looks like. Verse 19, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them. I mean, this ain't just to have on your coffee stand, man. It's to live by them. It's to fear the Lord. It's to establish these laws within yourself and the people that you rule over. And you know what that does? That shows the people that you rule over that you are righteous. You live by these laws. So you're held accountable to the same laws that you are pushing on them. You know what I mean? All right, so now we're going to get the last set. This is the book of Leviticus. I'm sorry, Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 20 in the Hebrew. La Balathia, Rawam, La Ba Bawa, Ma Ak, Yawa, Wala Balathia, Sawar, Mana Ha, Mataza Ha, Matazawa, Yamayan, Wa Shama Awal, Lama Ain, Ya Arayak, it's like Ya Arayaka, Yamayam Al Ma Malak Thawa, Ma Malakathwa, Hawa Wa Ban Yawa, Ba Quarab, Yasha'Allah. Verse 8, Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 1. La Yahaya, La Kahanyam, Ha La Yum, Call Shabbat, La Ya, Kalak, Wa Na Kala, Aim Yasha'Allah, Ashya, Yahweh, Wa Na Kalathwa, Ya Akal one. Verse 2. Wana Kala, La'a, Ya Haya, Lawa, Bakurab, Akayawa, or Akawa, Yahweh, Ha Wa'a, Na Kalathwa, Kashar Dabar, Lawa. Verse 3. Waza, Yahaya, Mashapat, Ha Kahanyam, Ma'ath, Ha'aim, Ma'ath, Zabakya, Ha Zabak, Shawar, Shaha, Wanathan, La Kahan, Ha Zara'ai, Wa Halak Yayam, Wa Ha Kwabab. Verse 4. Ra'ashiath, Da Ganka, Da Yashar, Da Yarashka, Waya Taza Harka, Wa Salakia. Give me 1 second. I'm lost my place. Arashka. Man, I'm gonna start back before. Asyath da Ganka da Yarashka Waya Taza Harka Wara Ash Yath Gazab Taza Anka the Thun Lawa. Verse 5. Kaya Bawa Bakar Yahweh Alahayakam Makal Shabbat Yakam La Aimad La Sharath Basham Yahweh Hawa'ah Wabanyawa Call Hayam Ha Yamayam. Verse 6, Wakaya, Waba'a ha la ya ma akad sha'ira sha'ira yaka makal yasha'ala ashar hawa'a gara sham wa ba'a bakal awath na pasha na pashwa all ha ma kwawam ashar yabakar Yahweh. All right, now in the English, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18. I'm sorry, verse 17. Chapter 17, verse 20. That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand, or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. This is just how to be a proper leader. You understand? You keeping the laws keeps you from being over righteous. It keeps you from being hot headed or high minded. You know what I'm saying? This keeps you on the same level as your people. Even though you have a higher status, you are on the same level as your people. You got to keep the same commandments they got to keep. You got to obey the same laws they got to obey. It's not like in America how a police officer can get behind the wheel fully loaded, you know what I'm saying, full of liquor, you know what I'm saying, and get behind the wheel and start doing reckless driving, and then when he gets pulled over by a fellow cop, the cop lets him go because he's a deputy or he's a sheriff or a commissioner or something. That's not how the laws of God works. You know what I'm saying? You break the law, you face the consequence. That's it. There's no way around it. And that keeps you on the same level as the people that serve you or that you serve. In the police officer's situation, he serves the people. He's a public servant. You understand? That keeps that level playing field. But that's not how things are run in America, because they don't keep the laws of God. They don't live by this book, even though they claim to be a Christian country. All right, chapter 18, verse 1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribes, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire in his inheritance. So they're the Levites, you understand, at this time, before we were under the order of Melchizedek, they were only able to inherit what was brought into the temple. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any inheritance of their own. Right? You gotta think about it. Most tribes had farms, had agriculture. They had a way of life that they could pass on to their children. But the Levites' job was to keep the temple, to be priests. That's what their job was. They didn't work a 9 to 5. They didn't till the land. They weren't blacksmiths. They weren't, carpenters and things like that. They were priests. That was their job. It was their only job. So they weren't getting money by whatever they did with their hands. They did what the Lord told them to do. That was their job. And people brought offerings into the temple. And that is what they would inherit. Those offerings, those sacrifices, those tithes. That is what the Levites inherited. You understand? Verse 2. Therefore they shall have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he hath said unto them. This is already said, right? Verse 3. We read about this in the Sabbath service. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the two cheeks, and the maw. Verse 4. The first fruit also of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the first of the fleece of thy sheep shalt thou give him. Verse 5. For the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose. And it's going to tell you what to do, but that's where we stop it for now. You can tune in next week to get the rest of the history. All right. So that being said, dang, as good as I'm gonna get. Nah, there you go. All right. This. All right. Oh, Liar Shalom. All right. All right. Imagine Wapan Yahakwadam, which means stand and turn and face the east. All right. We're going to set up the prayers once again. First in the Hebrew, and then in the English. All right. The Lord's Prayer. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Daba'a, Ratadaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Ba Shamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kawa Waf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawa Waf Yanawa, Wala'a, Dabaya'anawa, Bana say one, a ball, Hawa Shinawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Ha Malakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Parat, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. What we said in English was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the glory, and the power, forever. So be it. All right. Hands down, Yajimata. His hands down. Star, which means turn. All right. For time's sake, we just reading we just saying prayer, the Lord's Prayer. And that will conclude the Sabbath service. So we ran a little overtime. The water for y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all watching. If you like this content, make sure you leave a thumbs up in this video to let us know. And listen, man, while you at it, if you like seeing content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We answering all your questions, like why did God allow blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to go into slavery? Or why are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the #1 people mistreated because of their race? Or even, how could God let innocent people die? Well, we answer all that. Questions that your Christian pastor would never answer. And we get it straight out the Bible, man. It's been right in front of our face for thousands of years. We're going to give you the truth, man, because the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. So look, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified every time we drop a video. Check this out, too. Hit this QR code right here. It's going to get you everything you need to contact the I.S.U.P.K near you. All right? Shalom. All right. Sisters can be seated. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers in the class. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Yadimata, hands down. What we said was, Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. All right, sisters, you can stand. Men of Israel, we're going to salute the sisters. Turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Latan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Yadimata, what we said to the sisters was, Most High, watch over you in the name of Christ. All right, with that being said, that concludes the Sabbath service. If anyone would like to be anointed, come up and be anointed. All right. Shalom, Israel.
Yeah, Babylon is falling.